that is a normal thing. That's a popular business. Cabinets, you think, okay, what do they need to do for their, social media? So let's go in the avenue of a cabinet maker, and they just want to stay relevant. Let's start at the bottom. Just staying relevant. My question to you is, what would be the minimum people should be posting on social media?
So if they're true.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to Caitlin, which I met through Rising Tide, right? So we met through Rising Tide and we had a really good conversation because of what she does. She is let me see if I can get this right, social media manager and strategist. We'll talk about that later. This is going to be a conversation about all things social media. So I don't care if your business is 1 year old, 6 months old, 5 years old, it doesn't matter. Social media is the avenue that everybody is gravitating to. And if you're not on the social media, if you're not doing some sort of social media content in any way, shape, or form, you're missing the boat. You're missing the boat. So Caitlin, we met at Rising Tide, and we had a really good conversation about not just social media and the pros and cons to it. And what I mean by pros and cons is some people love it, some people hate it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a 70-30. I feel like most people hate it, but they know that they need to do it.
Yes.
So describe to me what you do as a strategist for social media.
So yeah, I work with clients on all stages of their social media. So some people are looking for we want to stay open, alive. Like, they have their websites, their email marketing. Now they have the social media aspect where businesses, potential clients may be making a decision, should I work with this business if their social media is active or not? So we're just looking for, just ongoing content. And maybe that's just posting 2 to 3 times a week to be like, hey, I'm alive and well. Then we have businesses who want growth. They're looking to take their business to the next level. Now we're looking at probably posting 5 to even 7 times a week. We want everyone to know their name, so we're doing the content creation, we're doing videos, we're doing graphics, we're really taking them to the next level. So it just really depends on where the business are. Are they looking to keep the light on? Are they looking for big growth? Are they looking to stay relevant?
Okay. And I feel like that was the next word I was just going to say.
Yeah.
I feel like people that just start to get involved with social media, they just want to stay relevant.
Yes.
Meaning they've got other competitors. Let's say it's a cabinet company and they make cabinets. And any business can take advantage of social media, whether it's posting a before and after picture of a kitchen that they just did. I don't know why cabinets just came into my head, because I was trying to think of something that's like not normal.
Yeah.
As a photographer, that is a normal thing. That's a popular business. Cabinets, you think, okay, what do they need to do for their, social media? So let's go in the avenue of a cabinet maker, and they just want to stay relevant. Let's start at the bottom. Just staying relevant. My question to you is, what would be the minimum people should be posting on social media?
So if they're truly a local business, so they're just selling to around the neighborhood, they're not doing online sales, I would say twice a week.
Okay.
And I say twice a week because a cabinet business would be able to leverage the local Facebook groups. So wherever you live, there's going to be local chatter groups, local Connecticut, or wherever you live.
Yeah.
There are going to be groups where people are actively, whether they're just there to find out if it's recycling day, there's usually advertising opportunities there.
Good point. And I feel like, so that leads me right into my next question is, somebody like a cabinet maker, where would you feel their time and their energy? Because I feel like just doing social media is already overwhelming enough. Now adding 5, 7 platforms to that, let's not even get into that part of that. So if somebody's got a cabinet company, they want to post 2, 3 times a week for before and after pictures of an install they did, from taking old cabinets out and putting new cabinets in, what would be the best platform for them?
Probably Facebook. Okay. Their audience is going to be there again.
Community? Facebook?
Yeah, the local Facebook groups, untapped market,
Okay.
like they would make a killing because it's free marketing. obviously it's time.
Yeah.
So, typically in these groups, they allow twice a week. So usually, or sometimes 3 days, like Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Obviously, different states can have different rules.
Correct.
And I would go in there Monday morning, get your coffee, and just share for 10 minutes, 3 times a week. And that would set you apart from everyone else. It would be a very manageable way to start marketing the business.
Okay. So now, cabinet maker, what should their post be? I feel like this is where people get lost now. Like, I don't want to be in front of the camera, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm really emphasizing this because you see both sides of it. You see people who want to be in front of the camera and they don't have a problem with it, but they just need guidance from you. And then there's other people like, whoa, no camera. I don't want to be part of that. Cabinet maker, what would you suggest would be a great post for them to do?
I think really leaning into search engine optimization, because like platforms like Instagram, and I guess that would be, it's Meta, so that would extend to Facebook. Posts are now showing up on Google.
Okay.
So I would position my posts as, what are people searching for?
Good point.
And just thinking of, well, what are the common questions you're getting asked on a daily basis, or go conduct some market research.
That's it. I just thought of a great question. If somebody's, what would be a popular question that somebody would be asking a cabinet maker? In my opinion, would be, should I take all of the old cabinets out or should I reface them? That would be an awesome post where that business and that company can say, here's the pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
And then go into it and then explain why you would replace cabinets if they're old or rotted or wood's no good. And as opposed to if the base and foundation is still good, you can reface them and blah, blah, blah. That would be a good post for them, and then showing pictures along the way. So good. That's very helpful, because I feel like this is where people are going to get lost was, okay, Snapchat I don't feel like would be good for a cabinet maker.
I don't even mess with Snapchat as a social media strategist. So
okay, and that's fair enough, because
there's opportunities definitely for short form content, but I just haven't had the time to explore it.
Short form.
Yes.
Short form video clips. Are you seeing, we're going to talk about trends later on, but are you seeing a lot of people leaning more towards, and I know the platforms are leaning more towards video than photos?
I mean, what I tell clients is that if you want to get that brand awareness, you want people to know about you, you have to do video. Like, photos are only good if you have an existing audience. If you want to do photos, do a carousel, then add music to it so that you'll reach more people. But it's like, it sucks. Like I wish we could just post a photo and it was like 2020 marketing where you got on the Explore page and it was amazing. But you have to do video. You have to. And
so I'm glad you said that. If you're not going to do video, or you're unsure of, because you don't want, let's say the person doesn't want to talk in front of that. Images can be used, and you called it a carousel.
Yeah.
Images can be used in a carousel with music. So as long as the images are moving, it's almost
just
like
sliding.
So a carousel, you have to slide it?
Yeah, so on Instagram, it's a carousel. You add like your 5 photos and you slide. So you have to do it manually. That's what's the one one negative is that you can't go and schedule on like a Metricool. Like, I will do a lot of post scheduling. So you have to go into the Instagram app, physically add music. You can schedule within the app, but then now those carousels with music are now having a better chance of ranking on the Explore page and even the Reels tab.
Okay, so this is a person just getting into social media, trying to find a way. And I feel like if people are going to be deterred to not do it because they don't want to do video, then it is okay to do it with music and pictures to do that. Okay, so even in a post, you can put multiple pictures. You have to swipe to see them, but you could do multiple pictures.
Exactly, like up to 10, I think.
I think so too. Okay, so I don't want to overwhelm anybody with the difference between Reels and Stories, and I feel like that's next level. And I feel like for me and my audience, what I want to address first is like the bare minimum base of just being present on social media. There's some other people that can be better at it, and you can evolve from there. But if you worry about doing this and you haven't even done this is going to be like you're 2 days and you're going to be out of it. So Canva. What other platforms would be a good way for somebody to start, bare minimum? And I know there's a lot of free things in Canva, but there's also the pro mode, which is only $120 for the year. To me, and you have access to everything, all the graphics and everything, the video slides. I'm finding myself finding a lot more things to be able to do in there. Would that be a good platform for somebody to dabble with?
Yeah, I think, and one step behind that is investing in your branding. You know, investing, because like Canva, like your social media is not going to work if you don't have the branding.
Okay. Forget I even said, I'm getting too far of myself. And you are absolutely right. Let's back the truck up, Ron. Okay. Let's talk about branding, because you're right. Without establishing that first, the social media part of it is going to be lost. And you help people with their branding. You help them with their being a strategist. Help them with cabinet maker, whatever that. Let's just pick something like not normal. Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
And just how would you brand a? You would have I know you do one-on-one meetings with people. So you would talk to them about branding, meaning what in your opinion solidifies branding?
So you need one more step behind me, which is like the brand designer, the strategist. So your logo, you want submarks, you want colors, you want elements, and fonts. And then sometimes it's hit or miss with a brand strategist. They'll give you brand guidelines, like this is your voice, this is your tone. If they don't give you that, but you have the collateral, then you can come to me. We have that conversation of market research, looking at your current business and uncovering the messaging, the themes. But I recently invested in my brand design and got the logo, the submarks. It's made a huge difference because I went from being another social media strategist to now having branding that represents me, that represents who I want to attract. And now I can go in Canva, I can create a brand kit.
Fair enough, that's good advice.
And now I know that my branding is strategic. And a lot of brand designers will also create social media templates. So they'll help you bring your branding to life. Now go work with a photographer like yourself. I think there's a time and place for a brand photographer for the website. Social media, I think it's 50-50. You want some professional, some just kind of generic iPhone. And now you can really have an easy time in Canva because you've created a library of your branding, of the photography assets, and now Canva, between their templates and all of the elements that Canva have, and again, invest in the $100. Now you'll have a really easier time creating content.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that. This is why I'm having this conversation, because I want to help myself and other businesses look at the proper way to do it. The social media is one thing, but without a proper brand
foundation,
like logo, like colors, like special fonts. There was somebody that was advertising the other day. It was on their car, and I couldn't even read the font. And it was so fancy, like they were trying to be elaborate, like
cursive.
Yes. But it was so elaborate with a lot of swirls in it.
I hate those when you can't even read it.
And I had to walk up to the car to actually look to see the letters. Now, how is somebody going to see that when they're driving? So So simplicity. I feel like there is a fine line between being too fancy, where it's not any font that's not readable is not a font that should be used.
Exactly.
It has to be legible. It has to be readable. So this is what you're talking about doing with a brand strategist, as they would come up with, here's what your logo can look like. Here's 5 different designs, and here's some fonts that would complement this to do that. And I feel like starting in that direction would be the best way to go.
The number one best way to go, because you can't do any marketing without branding. Well, when you go and make that poster, how are you going to do it? How are you going to do that social post? How are you going to do that email marketing? But even like writing captions, how are you going to write captions if you don't even have the brand foundation set for you?
Thank you, Caitlin. We want to talk about captions now.
Okay.
Because you and I had this conversation last month. How was your trip, by the way? Did you have a good trip?
Oh yeah,
Good.
a lot of fun.
All right, so you and I had this conversation. This is another part where I feel like people struggle with, I don't know what to say. Captions, I feel like, are probably just as important as brand, logo, and font and things like that. Because if you're like, I make cabinets, there is wording that needs to be put in there, copyright that needs to be put in there, and proper wording. And this is where you can help somebody that comes in and say, okay, where you have this big one-on-one conversation with them. Okay, you tell them all about the business, how it works, and then you would go into that memory brain of yours and say, this is how you should write that caption about that before and after photo. Check out this beautiful Victorian house that they built, was 1930, and you'd go into the whole thing. We just redid all the cabinets. The caption and the wording makes all the difference to the concept of the thing. So this is something you can help with people also when it comes to that.
So 50-50, again, that's where that brand strategist comes in. They should be giving you brand guidelines, your tone, your voice, words to use, words to don't. But I typically, when I'm working with clients, they don't have that.
Okay.
So I will do the research, look at the competitors, look at the industry as a whole. You know, if you're doing cabinetry, it depends. Like, are you doing $2,000 cabinetry, or are you doing $500? That's going to be different language as well.
Good point.
So yes, I'll help people, you know, if we're doing management, you know, I'll do a strategy process, and they'll have the space to approve it, that yes, this is how I want to speak to my audience. But again, it's just that branding is just so important. Like, your life will be so much easier, whether you have to find a new brand designer to get a more affordable rate. I think the standard fee is like $2,500. It is worth it. Like even if you're like, it's a lot of money right now, like 10 years, you'll be thanking yourself having this brand identity done professionally well.
I think in 5 years, you're going to be thanking yourself.
Yeah.
You just did yours not too long ago, and you're already thanking yourself for doing that, just because it's especially if there's competitors out there. For me, photographers, we are a dime a dozen now.
Same as the social media.
And I agree with you. It just feels like everybody that has can do work Canva really good considers themselves a strategist. I don't. I feel like there's a few things that need to separate you to put yourself in a category of a strategist like you and I. Because you and I had that conversation, and what you were was a social media marketer, and marketing is what you did. And we were like, you know what? You're really good at what you do. You come up with all of this concept, which I want to talk about research in a second. You are a strategist. That's what strategists do, okay? When we had that conversation a month ago, you were telling me about one of the clients that you were working with, and when they reached out to you, what you said to me was, I did research and found out a whole bunch of things about that industry that I did not know anything about. You took the time to learn. That's what I like, and what I feel like is good about what you do is it separates you. You're not just like, okay, give me a check and then just do this. Just do this. It's like, no. This is how we're going to do it. This is when it needs to be done. You can't do this before you do this. So this has to be. So that's the strategist part about that. So you and I talked about, going and doing research and things like that. And I feel like that's very important. So, the thing I want to talk about next is Canva. I feel like you're right. As a branding, and you get all of that logo and fonts, everything built into your kit that you have inside of there. Every time you open it up, your base is right there. All you're doing is putting your caption, your new photo, your logo's right there, your fonts are right there, everything's right there. It's that much easier. You're ready to go. All right. So how did you even get into doing this?
So in 2018, I started a handmade necklace business, and it was like ocean-inspired designs, sea glass, seashells, and the backstory, my necklace broke. I decided to fix it, and then that launched into the business. And then in 2020, when COVID started, it was like the rise of TikTok, and so I hopped on that wave, became really successful, going viral every single week. The business blew up, and I realized I actually like the strategy part more than sitting in my basement making the necklaces.
Good point.
And I tried to outsource the production, but it didn't work out. And I was like, you know what? Like, my heart is just not in it. I can't find a way to sustainably and quality-wise get someone to manufacture my products. So I decided to finish up my degree in marketing communications, did an internship, did some freelance work with my school, and then just went right into starting my marketing agency.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always ask people, how did you get to where you are? And it's like a loaded question because every person is different. And how and all the stuff that you had to go through to get to where you are, it's like, I was working in my basement and here you are working with, multiple companies now doing all of that. It shows progress and it shows levels up, finding out what worked, what didn't work, and what is going to work in the future. So that's awesome. And you're based out of Central Massachusetts or?
Burlington, Connecticut.
Connecticut. So I just asked you the why, so we got that. So the social media part of that is we got back to that. We'll go back to that company for the cabinets and things like that. So Facebook would be the place for somebody to get into a community forum and things like that, showing before and after pictures and showing pictures at them what they can do. And I get strategy and branding should be at the top of their list, but they're just starting out. So they're kind of like getting their toes wet. Captions and how to word things and stuff like that is very important also. Instagram. I feel like there are so many people on Instagram now, and I feel like back in the day, 2 years ago, was Facebook. And I feel like a lot of people are leaving and gravitating to that Instagram part of that. Instagram, it's all videos. It's just, reel after reel, video after video, because people are not doing pictures anymore because they're no traction, and not everybody's trying to go viral. People like me, I'm just trying to show my work and what I can do and promoting and advertising in that sense. Is there any other platforms that work well in that sense that other than Instagram?
I mean, I love TikTok. I know you hate TikTok.
No.
But you're unsure about it.
Yes.
There's a lot of untapped potential.
I know.
I got a client. I put all my clients like the way I see it is that, so I think a little larger scale. Like, my thought process, if you're already creating one piece of video content, why wouldn't you just repurpose it? I use a social media scheduler like Metricool. There's a lot out there. Take that one piece of content and I post it to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. If I'm doing an image, I'll post it to Google My Business. Like, I'm all about just kind of posting to everything. Obviously tweaking it based for that platform, the little tweaks that you want to make. But if you're gonna take the time to do one video, why not? You just never know until it takes one video for it to change your business.
So the cabinet maker is probably not going to do that.
But you don't know.
Well, you're right.
If they're a local business,
you're right. And why wouldn't they? You're right. If I can repurpose one video 3 times on different platforms, tweaking the caption, because something like Twitter is only allowed 250 characters inside of there. So I feel like you have to just tweak it a little bit differently when you're on Instagram. Instagram, you can put more words on and stuff like that. So I do feel like when somebody starts putting too many words inside of there, not everybody's going to read all the way through to the bottom.
Yeah, you don't want a textbook.
Yes, exactly. That's a really good do. So TikTok is another good platform to get. But how about LinkedIn? What's your experience with LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is all about personal branding. So a LinkedIn company page is I feel like the dying art. I do it for clients just so potential employees can see they're active.
Great point.
But it's really about the personal branding. So posting on your own personal account, thought leadership content, showing people, and it's a little wah. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like a high school situation where everyone's trying to be the most popular type of person, but there's value to it. I haven't done all of I feel like I'm not an expert there, but I have gotten clients from there. I see the untapped value. As a photographer, I've seen photographers on it, and I just don't see, unless you're doing commercial photography.
Great point.
But I see personal, I see family photographers. I just don't, I don't see the value there.
I go into LinkedIn with the intentions of getting headshots.
Okay, that's perfect for you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to find my wedding client in there. I don't think I'm going to find my family client in there, but people I'm going to find is headshots.
Yeah, personal branding, headshots, definitely spend the time there.
Certain platforms has more benefits. Like Instagram, you might find moms on there and people that are getting married. They're probably not looking for headshots. So each platform, I feel, you're better at this than I am, I feel each platform has its benefits and its pros and cons. So I would advertise more on LinkedIn for doing a headshot day and come get your headshots, fresh, clean headshot. And if I'm doing on Instagram, I'm focusing more on families, high school seniors, and weddings. Okay. And then on Facebook, I can kind of do both because there's a lot of people in Facebook that are not on Instagram and LinkedIn, and they're still looking to get married and things like that. Older couples are on more of the Facebook part of that. So I do get a lot of people that reach out to me. They found my name on Facebook in one of the groups and so on and so forth. So I feel like each platform has a benefit to it.
It's all about tweaking the message. So like one of my clients is this PT and OT. So on Instagram, I'm sharing this fun video of a trend the staff did. Now I'm gonna go post it to LinkedIn and be like, hey, join our team. We're hiring for a speech language pathologist. So I'm just adjusting the language depending on what the company's goals are for that month.
That's why you're a strategist.
Yeah.
That's why you're a strategist, because I would not have thought of that. I know the difference between the platforms, but I wouldn't have known how to repurpose and rechange it to address it to that platform. All right. I love that. I love that. I already talked about how often you should post from any businesses and things like that. I already talked about what platforms were best. We talked about certain ones have different benefits and things like that. What do you see as far as any trends happening in the business aspect? That's a big loaded question with that, and it's very broad, but in your opinion, do you see any trends happening with businesses in social media?
I think they're only going to do social media more. So if you're hesitant, you're relying on word of mouth marketing, referrals, is that you? You need to do social media because you know, when you're a photographer, you're the cabinet, there's gonna be 5 other businesses in your radius. And if you're the one doing social media, you're gonna stand out. So the more that you resist doing social media, and it can be simple, again, it could be 1 post a week, it could be 2, it can be simple. And honestly, I think videos are easier, and you can fight me on this, but
I don't disagree with you. It's the other people that they don't want it.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
And it could be a simple B-roll video. You're just taking a video of your cabinets, you're putting text on the screen that reaches your audience. I think that's easier than messing in Canva. And so if you just did 4 videos a month, 6, whatever cadence you want to do, it's going to be easy. Like, I think it's easy. You don't even have to get on the screen, just do the video, but just know the more you resist social media, you're going to get left behind.
That's the best advice right there. That would, we could end right now, and that would be like the icing on the cake. Caitlin, you're right. You're absolutely right. If you don't get on this trend, the trend is video, the trend is social media. Like it or not, if you're old school and you still don't want to do it, I feel like your company is going to stay stagnant and plateau out, and you're not going to get to that next level because your competitors are. And if you don't get on that boat and you don't get involved with that, you're going to miss the boat. That is the best advice you can give any. That was the last thing I was going to. You just answered the question right there. It is so true. I won't fight you on that. I agree with you. Video is the way to go, even if it's with your phone. Now, how adept are you to the editor in Instagram?
So yeah, I honestly prefer TikTok's editing platform. I will edit on there. You can save. They did get a little squirrely where in order to save the video, you have to post it. So I actually will edit clients' videos on my TikTok and then just go delete it from TikTok. So I'm a little scrappy. I just haven't found another platform tool that I really like, or I will edit in their Instagram and do it that way. So I don't have like a be-all end-all tool that I can recommend. I'm just a little scrappy in that department.
But now, if somebody says, "Hey, Caitlin, we are just the video editing part of this is just, we're really struggling with this. Is there any way we can send you 3-4 videos per month and you can do that and repurpose that and do something like that? Is there a package that you offer that includes, that can accommodate that?
So it would be fall under the management.
Okay.
I'm a little less a la carte and more of, I'm like your social media partner. I'm taking everything off the plate. I'm reaching your goals.
Okay.
I would only do a la carte if you were another agency. I will do subcontractor work for other agencies. But for client-facing roles, it's just you give me that content and then I'm managing everything.
But you can do that though. I didn't mean like an a la carte where they call it. I meant like if they're your client, we need help with this. We just struggle with doing that, putting the captions across the B-roll video that we just did in the cabinet.
I do all
there's
of
an option for that. Perfect.
So like I'll break it down where some clients I send them, like I have a larger team I work with, and every Friday I send them 3 to 5 ideas, and I say here are simple ideas, and we keep it as simple.
We talked about that last month. I like you come up with ideas to send to them that they need to go and do video clips and
so do that. Put in the Dropbox. If you need help, if I need to come on site, just let me know. Some people it's just a monthly call and I'm like, here are my ideas. And some people I'm like, just throw everything in the Dropbox. Like I don't care, just like everything is content. And then I'll figure out what the story should be.
But these are your actual clients. They're under contract with you, and that's the difference and things like that. So is there different levels to your contracts? Not contracts, sorry. Is there different levels to your packages?
Yeah, I would say like
what would be your entry level package? What it consists of?
Consists of 3 posts a month, a mixture. And again, it's gonna like, I will always lean heavy on video, but it's also a healthy mix because there's carousels. There's obviously is value in the static images. And it's more of a conversation of knowing your static image is not going to reach people. It's not even going to reach maybe even a lot of your current followers, but there is still value in it. So it's a mix. So it's like 12 posts a month, and that says, hey, Caitlin, I just want to show people I'm alive, I'm not dead. When they go to my website, relevancy. If, hey, Caitlin, I'm looking for aggressive growth, no matter what your goals are, that's when it's like 5 posts a week, even 7, depending on the business. Like I have a day program where we have so much content. It would be silly to only do 3 posts a week, 5 posts a week.
Great point.
So it's a conversation because I meet businesses where it's like, well, they don't even have the time to get me the content to post 20 times a month.
We had this conversation.
So it's just a conversation. Where are you at? Where are you realistically at? Because I think every business, the more content, the better. But if we can't quality-wise get there, then there's no point. So it's a conversation of, well, what are your goals? How do we get there? And then just having the conversation and just building a package that's going to work for the both of us.
Got it. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. What would be the next package above that then?
I would say it's just so custom.
Okay.
Like it's just, what are your goals?
So you don't have like a cookie cutter. I do X in this one. I do XXX in this one. I do XXX in this one.
It's just, let's get on a call.
Then you figure out, here's what I can do for you. Package.
And then if there's a budget where it's like, I'm really looking to spend in this area, then I will respect that. Obviously maybe can't get all your wishes in that budget, but it's really, what are your business goals? What are the content expectations? What can we realistically quality produce? And then just kind of go from there and building something, because I don't want to be cookie cutter, because what's going to work for you is not going to work for the next person. So we need something that's custom. And while I would love to post 7 times a week, because more content the better, if you can't quality get there, then it's just not going to work out.
And I again, this is all advice for your strategist specialty, helping companies get to that next level, whatever level that is, even if it's just entry level and you just started a cookie business and you're just going to start doing anything like that. You already said it already. Video and social media is the way to go. If you're not doing any part of that, and there's just going to be no growth in that. It's just going to be stagnant. And you're just going to plateau, and you're just not going to get anywhere. So, like it or not, that's what it's going to be. So, anything else you want to talk about then? And
then, the only caveat is the Facebook groups. I will say static images, they do work there.
Okay.
So think of it like a billboard. Design your Facebook group content as little billboard ads. So, if you have an industry, if you're like the cabinetry and you look where you live and you see, oh, there's a lot of groups, do it. Paid advertising, whole other conversation.
Great point.
Haven't gotten into it, but untapped potential there.
Yeah.
You can better control the leads you're getting in. Organic, and the thing is, organic marketing is slow. Any marketing is slow. Like, you're not going to see results quickly. Obviously, if you do the foundational pillars, investing in branding, photography, your content, the videos, you will see content growth more quickly, but just know that you just got to keep at it. Like, I wish I could tell you, oh, do this and you're going to be a millionaire, or you're going to reach what it, because like not all clients' goals are revenue based. Clients have different goals, but like I wish I can just switch the light and you're going to get there. But if you are consistent forever, you're going to outperform your competitors who just gave up because it was too hard and they didn't see that growth quickly. So if you can just keep at it, even if you're not seeing that immediate success, you're going to get there faster.
I just wrote that word down, consistency.
Consistency.
And I feel like that's very important for any, just being in business itself.
In general,
just in general itself. But now what we're talking about is social media consistency. It's, if you're going to go every day and you only get 2 likes, 4 likes, 50 likes, 100 likes, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to get frustrated like, oh, okay, well, why bother, And I think that's where the frustration comes in. Consistency over time is where you're going to see the results. Somebody going to your website and they can't find a social media button on your website kind of thing. That's a big no-no. That you should have a social media link,
Instagram
someplace,
feed maybe.
anything in there. From your website to your social media, from your social media to your website. There should be links back and forth that take them back and forth. I don't care if it's just Instagram and a website, but as long as they link back and forth, because people need to go and see whatever they need to see for your website. Back in the day when people didn't have websites, they didn't have social media because they only had a website, and they feel like that is enough. So I'm going to address that really quick. I'm going to put you on the spot.
If you think you need websites or not?
Yes. Do you feel like a website is just as important as social media?
It's a little 50-50, because it's crazy how much bad websites are out there and people just make a killing. So you can have a simple website. Like, you don't need to go invest thousands of dollars. I do think you need to send people somewhere, because like you want to send
a landing page,
people,
even a landing
page. You want to get them off of social media, whether that's maybe it's just you built in MailChimp an email list form. But get them off of social media and into an avenue where you can control, because all these social media platforms can crash and then you have no business. So get them, link your social media to website, newsletter sign up, something. Don't rely on social media.
That's good advice. That's good advice. That's good advice. And I feel like if you go to somebody looking up a company for cabinetry and they want to go see some of your work, but you've only got 4 pictures on your website, what I'm finding, my clients want to see not only my recent work as a photographer, they want to see what I've done in the past. So you can go to my website, and website will allow me to put 30 images up on there. But then with my social media, I can constantly be putting pictures every other day up that are different all the time. So the social media part of that is connected to the website, and they go back and forth. And we were talking about colors before. So your website should accommodate things like that. All right. Anything else you want to talk about as far as anything social media strategy, branding, anything?
Yeah, I think set social media goals. Like,
oh, good point.
A lot of people get frustrated, but they're caring more about the vanity metrics. Oh, I'm only getting this many likes. I'm only getting this many followers. But set SMART goals. Like, you can't be upset with your social media if you didn't set goals to begin with.
Yeah.
And I would rather care that your lead form is getting inquiries versus how many views or likes, the vanity metrics you got on your post.
Great point.
So really figure out, well, why am I on social media? What are my business goals? And then pick out metrics that would make sense. So if you're trying to get lead inquiries? Will I be more concerned about the website clicks coming from social media? How many forms you're getting filled out? So set goals for yourself so you're not disappointed. Oh, I'm not being successful. Well, you didn't set goals to begin with. So I'm always asking clients,
great point.
When are we popping the champagne bottle? You know, when are we celebrating? What are your business goals for that month? How can we relate them to the social media? And then kind of going that way, because then you'll have more wins. You'll be more excited. So get away from the rat race of I'm trying to get 1,000 followers, I'm trying to get social media famous, and just set some SMART goals, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months.
Realistic goals.
Realistic goals, and kind of think of like, well, how much content, and that's a good way to think about it, like how much their content output will then depend on your business goals.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to have 1,000 followers, but you're only posting once a week.
You're not going to get there.
And there's small captions, and it's only on one social media. That is, I feel like, again, icing on the cake. We get in right now. Mic drop. We're done. Seriously, that's probably really the best part of the advice, because setting realistic goals, and I want to have X by this time, but you're doing nothing to build that foundation of doing that. You're forgetting to post. What you're posting is not relevant. I don't care about your cat. I don't care about your food. It's business related cabinetry is what people want to see, and things like that. That I agree with you right there. Realistic goals, but what you do on a daily basis and a weekly basis has to match that goal.
Exactly.
Has to match that goal. If you ain't doing this, you ain't getting this.
So don't get upset if you're only posting once a week. It's going to probably take you over a year to reach those goals.
Great advice. Great advice. Because it's organic. You're not paying for somebody to, you're not paying for Meta or anything like that. No sponsored ads would be another thing too. So I guess that's going to have to be another conversation, because getting paid ads, you really have to be very specific with what and it has to be done right. It can't be like, before and after.
And you need a large budget, and that's what is a deterrent.
Yeah, that's a big deterrent. Yeah, I agree with you. It's like, oh, $5 a day. And then you look at, the metrics part of it. And
it's this, like, you need $30. Like, especially if you're doing a cabinetry, you probably want to be spending $1,000 a month minimum on paid ads to really get your clients. So don't even mess with paid ads. If you don't have the budget, just don't even mess with it yet.
I'm going to say this. Try and stay away from paid ads without having somebody that specializes in paid ads to do it for you. I did it once or twice before, a couple of years ago, and it cost me $300 to do it, but I did it myself, and I didn't do certain tabs the right way, like the radius of that I wanted to, and then I was targeting certain people, and I went too low, and it gave me a wrong demographic of people that it was targeting. So it's almost I don't feel like I'm trying not to intimidate somebody not to get involved with it, because that's not what I want to do. If you're gonna do it, have somebody that knows what they're doing help you. That's what I mean.
And just don't waste your money. Like $5 a day, unless you're looking for maybe general brand awareness. Like if you're looking for sales, you need to spend money. And like I wouldn't waste on $5 a day. Wait until you have enough money for $20, $30 a day. Run a campaign.
Even if you did that $30 a day for 1 month, and then take 2 months off. See what your social media, is it algorithm or analytics or whatever the A word there, looks like in that 30 days that you did that marketing. If you did not see any sales, if you did not see any more followers or anything like that, any more social media attention, then you don't want to do that for the next 6 months. Figure out what you did in that first month for the $30 a day. Yes, it was an expense. Stop, figure out, take a month off, figure out what worked, why it didn't work, and this is where strategist comes in and says, okay, this is why it didn't work that great. We need to, we pigeonholed you too much to a smaller radius. We need to make a bigger radius, or word it differently, or your pictures weren't that great, or your videos weren't that.
There's so many variables.
See what I'm saying? Then take a month off, attack it again for $30 a month for 1 month, and just see where it goes and if it's better. making adjustments along the way is probably the most important thing. And setting realistic goals. I feel like that was,
branding, goals, consistency, and you'll get there.
You'll get there. You got to be patient, though.
You really do have to be patient.
Yeah, because
nothing's easy.
No, it's really not. It really not. Because if it happens overnight, it can fall apart overnight. If it happens over the course of 5 years and you build a legacy and you build a platform and you build a great foundation of that, it's less likely to fall apart. So, anything else?
No, I think a good start if you're day one, year one entrepreneur. This is where you should start.
Or you're 30 years in the business and you know social media is the way to go. Now's the time to do that. Now's the time to do that.
Yeah, come on the train.
Yeah.
Before you get left behind.
Yeah. Before you get left behind. That's good advice. All right, anything else?
No, I'm all set.
Wow, that was a lot more than I expected. So when you have a business and you kind of know the fundamentals of marketing and advertising, and then you sit down with somebody who specializes in marketing and advertising and a strategist, you tend to learn a little bit more. So just the things that Caitlin said about the timing of businesses and what to do and doing video and getting involved with the trend of being on social media is the way to go. There were so many different nuggets inside of there. I want to thank Caitlin Grad Marketing for coming on the channel, and all of her information is going to be down below, website, Instagram, anything else like that. Go follow her. You will see all the stuff that she's done in her own personal branding. Once you go to the Instagram, you're going to see that. Then when you watch a strategist work their own social media, you'll learn something for your own social media. But if you're on the fence with getting a strategist or hiring a company to be able to help you with your social media because you know it's the way to go, look up Caitlin. All of her information is going to be down below. Have a one-on-one conversation with her so she can customize a package that best fits either your budget and or your needs. But there will be a requirement on your end. You're going to have to give her information and social media stuff that she can enter content so that she can post it for you. But she helps you with all of that stuff. She helps you all the way through. And if you want to level up, this is the way to go. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. Remember to like and hit that subscribe button. Remember to smile more because it sure does hurt less. Peace.